All right. So I know it's been a minute, a long while actually, but I want to post a little update about this thing. Still rocking, going very well. Only thing I did was I did change out the optics plate. This is a calculated kinetics plate, which is supposed to deflect a lot of the carbon that shoots up out of the lens. So I came across this issue. I'm sure a lot of people have, where the carbon from the actual rounds going off and the loaded chamber indicator will shoot up onto the optic screen in the front. And it will obstruct the bottom portion of it, but not where the dot is, but just below it. It's a fairly large black spot, but you can just wipe it off in the front. But finding a safe spot to wipe it off in the middle of a match or something like that, that's not the most ideal. Yeah, you can, kink it out of your holster a little bit and wipe it and put it back in. No one might say anything, but it's not the most ideal thing. Other than that, I've been running this nightstick light for almost a year now, and I picked these up real cheap. I think I paid $55 for them new. They went on sale. Some crazy place got them. So $55 new and no issues. Yeah, it does look a little weird with that big mounting screw on there, but honestly, no issues. I will say the activation is a little bit easier than the Streamlight is. I was not able to do that with one hand with the Streamlight. I kind of had to switch my grip a little bit to do that with your trigger finger. But, up and down, whoops. It does go up and down. I just can't leverage it right now. But you can definitely do up and down. But this thing's been rocking and rolling pretty well. So anyway, so I'm approaching 4,000 rounds. And like I said, the only thing I've done was change out that plate. Now, prior to that, the stock plate was going fine. It has not bent at all. I just took it off for the first time in a long time. No bends. And I think that the reason why it doesn't warp and it works better than the Glock MOS plate is because it's made out of plastic. So there is some flex to it. Whereas that steel plate that Glock uses, that must be a very inferior metal, whatever it is, because a lot of these other aftermarket plates, like this one, the CH Precision, they're also made out of metal. But whatever metal the Glock plate's using, it's got to be inferior, because once that thing bends a little bit or a little bit of give, you're out of there. You're done with. So, yeah, the only thing I've done was change out that plate, and I'm still rocking 1/2-inch screws. That's my go-to. I know it sounds kind of crazy because I think every manual out there recommends 3/8 at the maximum 3/8. Now, I'm still sticking to my guns, no pun intended, that the screws that Holosun provides and the screws Smith & Wesson provides, they're not nearly long enough. They're just not. And I don't even think that the Holosun screws are 3/8. They say they are. I've messaged them before and asked, what are the long screws that everybody refers to? And they claim it's 3/8. I put it up against the 1/2-inch screws, and it's a discernible difference. It's not just like a hair. It's discernible. So, I would chuck those screws anyway. Get yourself some McMaster car screws or something like that, something maybe American made, because, if they're going to cheap out somewhere, it's going to be the screws and the batteries. That's just going to be it. The actual optic itself, no complaints, obviously great. This is my second or third 508T. Oh, it's my first one actually, but I have 2 other ones. And I would definitely not hesitate again to buy more of them. These are my go-to optics. But like I said, the only mods was the extended magazine release, which I showed you guys as a Hyve. And there's a video on my page about how to fix the problem that it ships with, which is kind of weird. But, everything's going well. But I would not hesitate to use the stock plate at all further. But just know, after about 100, 150 rounds, depending on what kind of ammo you're using, how dirty it is, you will get some carbon buildup on the front of the screen. Yeah, it's annoying. Is it a huge deterrent? Not massive, but this plate was affordable enough that there's no reason not to get it. I believe I paid $55 or $60 for it shipped. They do offer a law enforcement discount, so if you want to hit them up for that. But I'm gonna take it out to the range tomorrow. It's a plate. It's not gonna disappoint me. They're made in Arizona. It's not made abroad. Hopefully everything's well. I think they say it's 0.6 millimeters taller than the stock plate is. It is a little bit thicker, that's for sure. But that deflector on the front is what's supposed to mitigate those gases shooting up onto the screen. And I think it would. It looks like it would. So we'll find out tomorrow. I'm taking it to range. But aside from that, only other update is I got myself a Bull Armory 2011 stylish pistol. Check it out here. Haven't shot it yet. Taking it out tomorrow. I think also, yep, also running 1/2 inch screws. So we'll find out tomorrow how that rock and rolls. Same light. Like I said, I got these for pretty cheap. And the hotspot, I'd say it's better than the TR1 HL. The HL model, not the HLX. I haven't played around with that one yet. But we'll see how this bad boy goes. Also, for anyone wondering, these share holsters. So the Safariland holsters, you can get the 6000 series, and this is for an MMP 2.0 full size, which is that right there. And I had a Thesis double stack 1911 that I had horrible luck with, would not recommend it. But anyway, so the commander size fits in this perfectly fine. So I went ahead and bought myself the Bull Armory EDC, which is a 4.25 commander size, and lo and behold, it fits just fine. It does not, I can't defeat the ALS, and actually you can activate the safety within the, activate and deactivate the safety within the holster, which is kind of a good thing, because I know the 2011 style holsters, that's one of the big selling points for Safariland 2011s. Like, well, can you activate the safety inside of there? Yeah, your 2011 might fit inside of another holster, but that's like where some people are like, well, it's not designed for that, or it is designed for that. You can't do it with this one. You know, I'm not going to knock someone else's company like RDR Gear. I'm not quite sure what modifications they make to 1911, 2011 style pistols with Safarilands. But if you put in their comments when you purchase something saying I have a Prodigy commander size or I have a 5-inch, they'll modify the Safariland to whatever it is that's supposed to make it smoother. Personally, I've not had an issue when I had the Thesis with the Safariland. The Thesis gun itself, tons of issues. Would not recommend, like I said. But no issues with it locking, unlocking with the ALS in here. It operates almost as if it was designed for it. Now, this might not be new to a lot of people, because I think it was Hilton Yam years ago. He was saying before they even came out with a Safariland for the 2011 style pistols, he was like, yeah, we're just using MMP 2.0 holsters and they're working fine. So it might not be news to anybody, but I just thought I'd put it out there. Yes, it does lock up. No, it will not. I cannot defeat ALS. So perfect. That's what you want to do. But like I said, aside from that, this thing's still rocking and rolling. I'm just under 4,000 rounds. Highly recommend. No issues. Oh, only other thing I did was I purchased the Apex sear. So all that did was replace the actual factory sear. It took me about 15 minutes to install. I've never done that before. So if anyone had done that or installed an Apex trigger, you could probably fly through it quickly. I kept the stock trigger shoe to remain with that factory-ish look. And not only that, but the geometry of the stock trigger shoe is not bad at all. Once you depress this, it's pretty flat, fairly flat. I'm still sticking to it that the Shield Plus out of the box probably has the nicest, newer style triggers, but this is great. This is the best of both worlds, where you can have something a little bit lighter and it's a little bit cleaner for break and retain that stock factory shoe. Now, that was, I think, 50 bucks or maybe less than that. If you want to jump up to the Apex full flatty, I think it's 110 for the Palmer one. But the only thing that does, other than the Apex sear, is it also changes out the trigger shoe. Now, if you have no gripes with this, you may as well just keep rocking it. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's very light, very crisp with the Apex sear in there. Highly recommend that. That, like I said, it took 15 minutes to install. I did it myself. You can obviously do it too. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys. You know, I know I probably said I was going to do an update video sooner, but it is what it is. Life got in the way. Maybe after I get a couple thousand rounds through this, I'll do a video about it, because a lot of the videos you come across for these Bull Armory, Staccatos, Prodigies, these 2011 pistols that are very niche now, they are obviously, maybe not obviously, but they are definitely, I wouldn't say shilled, I wouldn't say paid for, but the information that some of them provide, it's not biased or unbiased. It's just simply, they're giving you the facts and they're letting you go a certain direction. You know, I'll flat out say, don't buy the Thesis. My experience was horrible with it. I sent it back to them. They couldn't repair it. They sent it back to me. Or, no, sorry, they did say they repaired it. They changed out the extractor tension. It's a story for a different day. Sent it back to me. I still had the same issues. Hard failure. I ended up getting rid of it. But Like I said, next update video will probably be a review on this bad boy when the time comes. I'm not going to do it before I approach 1,000 rounds at least, because I think anything under 1,000 is kind of a joke. There's no real reason to do a video. You haven't shot at least 1,000 rounds through a gun. So that's all I got for you guys. But like I said, highly recommend. Don't hold back. If you shoot this thing a lot, yeah, maybe consider changing out the plate. Calculated Kinetics. I'll put a link in that below. If you don't shoot terribly a lot, you're not going to shoot more than 100 rounds at the range a day or a session, you know, the stock plate will do you just fine. But I am sticking to 1/2-inch screws for sure. Or at least buy yourself aftermarket 3/8 screws, because whatever screws they're providing are not 3/8. There's no way. That's all I got for you guys. See ya.